Hey, fifth grade, it's Miss J, and today we're going to be doing reading. Today you're going to be reading a text titled From Fire, Friend or Foe by Dorothy Hinshaw Patton. So before we get started, you should make sure that you should have the text out in front of you, a piece of paper, pencil, or a pen. As you're reading the text, you should be taking notes and annotating any important information that you feel that you'll need later on. It's always helpful to read the multiple choice questions and the open response question before you start reading so you have an idea already of what you're looking for. As you're reading, you want to ensure that you're paying close attention to the text features. At the very top, you'll see that it says, fire can be destructive, but it also plays an important role in the life of our natural environment. Read the selection to find out more and answer the questions that follow. So this lets us know that we're going to be reading about fire. You'll also notice that there are headings and subheadings throughout the text. Those are very important to pay attention to, so later on when you're answering the multiple choice questions, you know exactly where to look in the text. At this point, I want you to pause the video and read the entire text. Now that you've read the entire text, let's go over the multiple choice questions. Number 8. According to the section titled Plant Adaptions, how are trees such as redwoods protected from fire? A. The trees contain a large amount of water. B. Layers of branches preserve the trees. C. The trees are shielded by their bark. D. Special chemicals coat the trees. So now we'll go back to that section titled Plant Adaptions and we'll look for our answer. So we're at Plant Adaptions at that section. So again, we want to know, how are trees such as redwoods protected from fire? So if we read the first sentence under the section Plant Adaptions, it reads, long-lived trees such as ponderosa pines and redwoods have thick, fire-resistant bark. So that lets us know that their bark is fire-resistant. It cannot be affected by fire. If we continue reading, it reads, a giant sequoia redwood can have a bark a foot thick. In an ancient redwood grove, many of the trees are scarred by fires that occurred dozens to hundreds of years ago. That lets us know that the trees have been able to survive from fires that occurred dozens to hundreds of years ago. That means that fire cannot harm the trees. It also reads, trees like these are rarely killed by fire, which is one reason they managed to live for so long. So if we scroll back down, we will see out of all the options, C would be our best option. For number 9, according to the section titled Plant Adaptions, how are lodgepole pines able to reproduce after a fire? A. Some pine cones are buried deep underground. B. Some pine cones open only when a fire occurs. C. Some pine cones open in the water used to fight a fire. D. Some pine cones are eaten or carried away by animals. So again, we will scroll up to that section, Plant Adaptions. So we're noticing how the headings are very important here. So based on this text evidence, it reads, but the heat from the fire also melts the resin that protects the serotinous cones, opening them. Sorry about that, guys. Once the seeds are released, they germinate and grow into the next generation of lodgepoles. This text evidence answers our question about how are lodgepole pines able to reproduce after a fire. So our best answer for number 9 is B. Some pine cones open only when a fire occurs. Now between each question, I want you guys to scroll up to the section that it asks you to go to. and find the best text evidence to support your answer. You can eliminate answers by realizing that there's no evidence to support that answer. So for number 10, based on the section titled Plant Adaptations, which of the following statements is true? A, only unusual species of plants can adapt to fire. B, only large healthy plants can grow again after a fire. C, plants that adapt to fire are varied and found in many areas. D, plants that appear after a fire may struggle to grow in burned soil. I want you to scroll up and look for that text evidence to support your answer. Great, so if you found the correct text evidence, you'd realize that C, plants that adapt to fire are varied and found in many areas, is our best answer. Number 11. Based on paragraphs 12 and 13, what important change occurs in an ecosystem immediately after a fire? A, the average temperature rises. B, the soil is tightly packed down. C, the animal populations increase. D, the ground plants receive more light. Check your answer. If you found the correct text evidence, you'll see that D, the ground plants receive more light, is our best multiple choice answer. Number 12, what does the information in paragraph 14 mainly show? A, the danger plants and animals face. B, the connections plants and animals share. C, the differences between plants and animals. D, the competition between plants and animals. Here, B is our best answer. Number 13, which conclusion about a burned over forest is supported by information in the section titled Changes Over the Years? A, it will eventually recover and grow again. B, it faces increased risk of a second forest fire. C, it provides poor living conditions for all wildlife. D, it becomes an attractive spot for tourists and researchers. Should have scrolled up to changes over the years. You will see that C, nope, not C, sorry. A, it will eventually recover and grow again. That would be our best answer. Number 14, the author's most likely purpose for writing the selection is to A, persuade, B, entertain, C, inform, D, reflect. The best response here would be C, to inform you about fires. 15, read the sentence from paragraph 9 in the box below. The popular image of frightened deer racing to escape a forest fire as portrayed in the movie Bambi is false. What does the word portrayed most likely mean? A, taught, B, shown, C, claimed, D, threatened. Think about each definition and how it could be used in that sentence. So the best answer here would be B, shown. The popular image of frightened deer racing to escape a forest fire as shown in the movie Bambi is false. B would make the most sense here. Now I'd like you guys to move on to the written response. You can head over to Google Classroom and you will see this question posted as an assignment. And you will answer the question, based on the selection, explain how fire can be both friend and foe. Support your answer with important details from the selection.